video is about just web authoring for Paper 3, right? I just do a quick review, like what are the normal tasks we have been doing in web authoring. Okay, I'm not using any pass here. I just randomly. Okay, I just use the paper we did in the classroom. I won't go step by step like following the exam paper. What I do is that I just simplify it. Like for web authoring, what we'll do, like my other videos, right? My other videos just cover the basic thing that we need to know at least, so that you can do the task. So here web authoring is quite easy. Okay, so usually when we go to the Microsoft Expression, right, so, and then in the paper 3 they will ask, like for example here they're asking to create a web page, right? So this is our basic step. So here normally what we have to make sure is that you create a HTML. Okay, and then style sheet, if let's say there will be two, either they will ask us to create a new one, or they have already created in the source file folder, we have to open it and then we have to edit. So only these two things will be normally be using. So other than that we are not going to use any else. Okay, so we create on the HTML. Okay, and then we have to straight away we have to save it the file. So when saving, right, so for example your exam time, the folder will be in desktop, right? Make sure everything in the same folder. Why I say sometimes you see, here you show my website, right? So means it will be in different folder. If it's different folder, right, the for example the source files is with different file means, so it doesn't show up like the video preview or the images, right? It doesn't show. When you do design here you can see it, but when you preview it doesn't show. So when you save itself, make sure you are in the, let's for example during exam it will be desktop, right? So make sure it's in your desktop. Okay, and then the naming file, for example here that this name for given, right? Okay, so don't worry about quite confused about HTML. So HTML is the file code. Okay, the ending file, you just need to type the file name enough already because it's already in the HTML format. Okay, so once we created, okay, now we have it. Okay, and then here normally what they ask you is that they ask you to change the title. So here we change the title, here it will change the title for the page, right? So here's our title. Okay, and then the first step they will ask us to do is that, even in this question paper, right? Okay, so they ask us to create the design the table like this. Okay, so for the table we just have to know how to make it similar, like very easy only. So here if I see here that, or maybe I can make it into 2 column and then 4 rows, then I can merge it. So that's what we are going to do it here. So we click on the table. Okay, we make it 2 column and then 4 rows. Okay, then I merge the first one, right click here, then you can do the modify split all over here. So we merge the first cell here and then over here, then I merge it. Okay, so you can see your exam paper, right, they have given the label. Okay, like for example here, right, so the label is not necessary because even in the question paper they will say do not show the label, right, shouldn't appear in the web design. But what will help you is that here if you see, we are not familiarized with coding because we never learn any coding, right? We are using a designer to edit the web page. Only thing here later we will work on is that for the video template. So this A B C D, all right, will help us. How? Let's say they ask you to place an image on C, right? Okay, so for example here I just do for the C only. Okay, so for example like here see they ask you to put the image eagle, right? Okay, so now I have to, for image, right, we just click here. So I just click here, then you can see here it will automatically will show on the where I am pointing my current position, so it automatically will go. So we can carefully can play around with it, no need to edit or delete anything. So whenever we want to enter the file, right, then we delete it. So I delete here, now you can see. Okay, here, right, so the arrow you can see there's an row span will already automatically here. So that's why you have to be careful. So those who you normally have mistake, like I input my image already, why the layout is running on like this thing is happening. So you see, I now I deleted the C only, but just now if you see I wrongly deleted over here. Okay, so you have to be careful, like click here, make sure you just deleting the alphabet only. The TD closing means a table cell closing. Okay, table TR means table row, table means table started. So we already design it into the design view, right? So when you doing work over here, don't accidentally click anything. If you make like before you click on delete, right, make sure you just click the character only. So now what I do, I just delete the C only so that the box will be empty, right? So then what I do, I insert the image. So now they need to insert the eagle image, right? So we use the folder. okay, eagle. So we just have to insert. Okay, and then here remember every time when you import itself, you just have to type the name of the file, so that will be easy. Okay, so once we put here, okay, for images, right, so we have a basic step, because why, so far every exam IG they will ask us to like fit to the table lah. So they won't have like any specific ratio, unless, so if even have also they will give us. So what we do, we change it this one to 100%. Just be mindful, don't delete any extra characters, just follow exactly where you are doing. So this one, the height, we will delete. So for every images, this is our basic template. So we delete the character like the ABCD alphabet, right? Then we click on the box inside, and then we use the insert image. So then we insert, once we insert it, you can either directly can do this one, or insert all the images first, then you can do the thing. Okay, so this is a like fixed step we will do for image with 100%. So even some of you make mistake, what you do is that you delete, for example, you put 100 but you didn't put the percentage symbol, then it will be like it follow pixel different, percentage is different. Percentage means then it will follow automatic aspect ratio, so you have to make sure you always put the symbol. And then some of you sometimes like wrongly accidentally deleted, so this is what it when highlight in a yellow color, right? So means there is an error in your code. So you have to be normally you guys make mistakes that you wrongly delete, or you click on somewhere and then when you delete you didn't check. So just be mindful, you walk over in the design view, the split here design, right? Don't fully entirely on split or code, so you might be not familiar or you cannot identify where's the error. So just click here, then you see insert the image fit with 100%. Okay, so this one we are okay ready. Okay, so same thing we are going to do for all the images. And then for the text, right, so text normally they will give like okay, they will given us a text page or something, and then we have to apply the style. Okay, so for example this one, so either we are going to use normally it's going to be a heading 1, 2 or paragraph, that's it. No any font size or any other thing they will be asking. Okay, and then for just now the when I import the table, right, okay, I forgot one more thing. Okay, table normally, right, so usually what we do is that table normally if you want to put a border for you to easily see, you can use the border over here, but you during exam time they will ask us to do not show the border, because in the style sheet we will hide the border, like border collapse, so it doesn't come out. Okay, this one I think we can no need to follow the step. Okay, that one I during class time we use this one to just to see the table visible clearly. Okay, so the another one more thing is that property, table property, if they say fit to 80% of the table, so you make sure you should be specify the width. Height we are not going to do for the table at all, because why, we will scroll up and down. Okay, and then cell property, every cell normally they will give a width or height, make sure it's in percent. Okay, and then one more thing, like for example, okay, for the video template, right, so video template just make it slower. Okay, how to make it slower? Okay, so we go, let's say the D, here we have to place it the video file. So what you do, okay, before you delete the D, right, you want to be extra careful, so what you do, you just add a space here. Okay, just a 2 row or 3 rows, okay, doesn't matter. And then this one we delete it. Okay, now we put the intro is first, so video slash. Okay, so then obviously you can see there's will be an error, because why, we opened the video template but we didn't close it. So what I do, I just close it with the reverse slash. Okay, so now you see, no any yellow error, right, so everything is clear. So now I have to only focus on these 3 lines only. Okay, so then you see, I follow the step, right, I just put video opening, video closing, then the next will be our source src. Okay, source src. Okay, when we press equal itself, right, okay, so you can see, when I type src, when I press equal, it automatically will show the rotation. So we have to type the file name, just follow the exam paper file name, and then make sure we have to put the mp4. Okay, so for your exam, for example this exam paper, I think no any, okay, video file I got, okay, sorry, so got m22 like m4, right, okay, this one should be in the b. Okay, so here this one, let's say I put it on the b, so I just, this one we make it an extra row, and then delete, and then we place it this one, right, so video source, so they say so we just copy from the question paper, because the file name will be same exactly, m22 lake, so we just have to type m22 lake mp4, m22 lake mp4. okay, and then you have to type, okay. So this one, the type should be, okay, video slash mp4, okay. And then the video here, we have to add the controls, okay, controls, okay, muted, autoplay. Why I add muted is that normally, for if let's say they ask you to play it autoplay, right, when you open the browser it should be automatically play, means you have to join this together. If let's say they didn't mention no need to autoplay, just controls have a control bar, and then let's say they ask for loop, so this is what we are going to type, okay. Then once you are done, you can preview the file, so to check the file is coming out, okay. So now I see it, okay, so you can see that file is automatically coming out. The loop, right, I forgot, maybe as loops. So I add the questions, for example, auto play, okay, auto play, and then muted. So this one, for let's say when you open the browser, it automatically play the video, okay. So loop as a separate, autoplay muted together, and then controls separate. So these are separate thing, okay. So this one, say how do I remember the code is that I know that as my step by step, I put the video opening, video closing, and then source SRT. Main thing is that the file name must be same exactly, and then the type video slash mp4, okay. And then the control autoplay muted too. So no any yellow color line anywhere, something like, for example, if I delete anything, then you can see the error, right. So no any error means my code got no issue. When the preview video file come on, if your video doesn't shows even though your code all are okay, right, so maybe your file, you didn't save it in the source file folder, only that can be a problem, okay. So that one for all HTML, table, images, video, that's the much thing, or text, paragraph, anything, okay. One more thing will be the CSS file, okay. So for example, this question paper, right, okay, attach a style sheet. So they ask us to attach a style sheet, okay, and then they ask you to create a new style sheet. This is where we have to go follow, okay. So for style sheet, make sure you don't click on the HTML, you have to go for the CSS, okay. So here, this one also same, we are not good in coding, right. So what we do, we just follow the format, okay, new style, and then here, right, so what are the things we are going to type is that, okay. So what are the things we are going to type is that, okay, for example, let's say they ask you to put a image or color on the background, so we use the body, okay. So we either use the body, okay, or table, like they want to collapse the border, okay, or if you want to adjust the table line, something border width or something, then table, okay. And then let's say they want to do for table row, so table row is the D. So you see body, table, table row, okay. And then other things are the h1, h2, h3, okay. So if you are still, like for example, sometimes, right, for example, the h1, h2, h3 or paragraph h1 all, they want to apply the same font color. If you want to apply all the same font color, so we can use it together, okay. So for example, we have body, okay, we have the table, okay, we have the h1, okay, or h1, and then paragraph, okay, and then h2, for example, okay. So these are things we have, right, okay. Let's say if I want to apply all same color, so we have to just type the h1, h2, paragraph together like this over here, so I can apply the color same thing for everything, okay. So here, for example, for the color thing, right, okay, for color we know that it will follow RGB. So let's say the exam paper, they've given the code, right, so for R, red, green, blue, we just have to follow, okay. For example, this question paper, okay, they didn't give any specific color, okay. If let's say there's any color, right, for example, they will give the 3 color code RGB, so we just have to follow the sequence only. But in exam paper, they may not following the sequence, they may give blue first, red, green first. We just have to use the color code. So this one, for example, if I pick this, so this is first 2 codes are R, second 2 codes are G, and the last 2 are B, R, G, B, okay. So what we do, we just press to apply, Okay, when you press apply, once it's appeared, then press OK. Don't directly press OK. Sometimes you want to double check it, right? So you can undo and then you can apply one more time also. Okay, and then for example, formatting the table, right? Okay, make sure there's no any like the space over here or the full stop. So you type table, and then the table part normally they will ask us to do is that, okay, either the border, okay, or for example we will have to do the margin. They will, let's say they ask you to align to the left. If they want to align to the left means so we have to put right auto. If they say align to right, then we have to put left auto. That's the only part we normally confuse. Other than that, all same only. Margin or padding means is like gap between the image and then the table. Okay, and then for another one is that we will look into the position here. Okay, this one, like for example whether, okay, it's like the position over here, and then one more thing is that the table, like for example border collapse here, either it's collapse, normally they'll ask it like that. So everything will be here, just you have to remember this thing numbers are. Okay, so these are things you have to remember for CSS. Other things all you can just figure it out over here. Okay, so that's thing I want to revise out for you guys. One more thing, once I done this one, right, okay, I have to save it. Just have to show you the attach. So once this one done, I have to save it. Okay, make sure again it should be in the same source file folder. Okay, and then here we have to go here, and then we have to, if let's say during the exam time you don't see the, okay, style properties, right, so here you can see the properties here, pages, panels here. So you just have to toggle it on, then you can easy. So I click here attach style sheet, and then I open the same source file folder. Okay, so then I attach it. Okay, then you just have to attach, make sure you show it here, then you can see the changes over here when you preview. Okay, so that's a easy part for web authoring. Okay, thank you guys.